Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kodash.
Your honors and to our elders and apostles of Great New Soon. And shalom to our brothers and more here pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Them that believe, shalom. Brothers are from Camp James, Jamaica. This is lastly we want to touch in the mark of the beast, which is the implant of our Father Egypt. Esau, which is the devil's so-called race, won't use it as a answer, for basically all issues when basically bring up on the face of the earth. As can I start off with the precept of Revelation, it said deceive it. We can also them up with the scriptures over.
Alright, so this is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship the image, that worship his image. These both was cast alive into the lake of fire.
Yeah, that's representing the thermonuclear destruction that's coming into Mystery Babylon the Great, which is America. We say what? Them that he deceived. Them that receive the mark of the beast, and deceive them that receive the mark of the beast, guys. A great deception is going to play out upon the face of the earth, make people receive the mark of the beast as our Father Egypt. Because right now, you come and man will say, yo, I'm not in the ship. You see, no man not ship me. I wait from Jake all the while. But what he do is that he Esau and so-called white race create a crisis, and the only solution will basically be the ship. Right, that's why even Andrew Willis in basically here, because I read I don't remember who said, but going into the NIDS out here in Jamaica, National Identification System, they must say the court never really rule against it, but they must say in order to make this mandatory, you have to have a valid reason behind it. That's why Andrew Willis can come out now and say we need to push NIDS and can never make a good crisis go to waste. Because they have the crisis right now, the great catalyst, where basically, we don't know if he's ever had to it, we don't know, but we see basically a period where the economy are crumble, we see basically them have everybody on lockdown, people don't have jobs so they can push forward the universal income, and basically a digital currency. Scotia basically a plan for lockdown 2 branches, and put forward 6 digitally. So they're bringing for third of the banks in uni, basically them cashless. And almost every country, if not all country, speaks about central bank digital currency. Companies going digital, everything is going digital, and that's the main catalyst. So you basically create the crisis, right, to come up with a measure, because coronavirus can be spread on the money, so we need to get rid of paper. So that's a deception. And when I've mentioned even the food rationing, take place in order to can monitor people, right, and know who is vaccinated and who is not, who's a threat to it, who get X amount of food already, right? Check. I can just get it, Revelation 13, anything else you have?
Yeah, man. So this is book of Revelation chapter 13, and start at verse 10. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
This presidential election, everybody thinks Biden among good person, left-right paradigm. I think you have a meme where say remember exactly what the God, God represent the God that is needed for American Indians. You must say you are more the left wing and the right wing, but at the same bird. Because everybody look on Trump as a tyrant, because Trump speak in mind. With Biden now, apparently him win. People believe so, alright, things are relaxed now. Not knowing it's of the same bird, the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
So him speak as a lamb.
Exactly. It says he had 2 horns like a lamb.
Yeah, that's the Republican and the Democrat. Right. In ancient Rome, you had the plebeians and the
Mathematician.
they were
basically to say 2 horns like a lamb, so it describe them as a lamb. Every time they come on stage, they portray themselves as being of benefit to people. Understand? Even the electoral debates, Understand? Then come up with
Songs.
then come up with arguments stating that they're going to help these people in such a way. They might push forward certain legislation that is supposed to help that and to help this. Understand? And that is what they are going to do with the mark of the beast. Understand? They actually have pushed this they might basically create this order for bringing their sense of order, which is the chip. You understand? So it says,
You can just read down here with 40. So words that mouth were smoother than water.
So this is Psalms chapter 55 and verse, let me just get to the point, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
exactly, every time the so-called white man come to him, speak in an altruistic way. The word altruistic means benefit to you and benefit to me, equally beneficial. Right? But you realize that the so-called white man is pseudo-altruistic because when him do, him speak in a manner to basically look as if it's a benefit everybody, but it only a benefit him. Because at the end of the day, he must push forward his agenda, and all agenda where he must push from is for his benefit and his growth. Right?
One. It's Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy,
Right.
for like as a iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Exactly, man. Like as an iron rusted, so does his wickedness, man. You see, what iron do is that when it lay out in the open elements, you understand, it take a period of time for it to be oxidated. You see, in the state of oxidation, basically, put the rust on it. Understand? So the more you see the white man go on in his kingdom, the more you see wickedness increase, man. You see, and it start become more and more blatant.
Just like I said, brother, more and more time. Time reveal things. And you know, when it's mentioned time, Revelation 12 and 12 come to mind. So this man knows him about a little bit of time left to rule. So in true colors are going to come out. Biden here is not going to make any difference to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian in a positive way. You will feel the sword now more than even under Trump government, because the man true color will come out and you're going to learn the hard way. So this man is your enemy. We've been warning you people, we've been telling you, the scripture said, never trust thine enemy. I will make you know that the Edomites, which today they call themselves white, the so-called white race, they are not your friend. But you're going to learn the hard way.
You pity a charm as this big boy a servant. Because they keep friendly with the so-called white man. At the end of the day, the serpent bites him. Remember the video of the crocodile? Man believes him can control the crocodile. Isn't it? Boom! Crocodile bite in the ass. Alright.
This is verse 11. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Right.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Exactly, man. From the inception of the so-called white man, it basically corrupted from the beginning. Understand? It's just a little breeze and a little time, and the breeze right now is the truth. Understand? First, they used to have one of them powers where them used to basically take privilege in is them secrecy. Understand? Back in the 90s, coming forward, even the beginning of Abba business, you basically can see, say, yo, the white man, there was a flood of information that kept on revealing him. You understand? So that power of secrecy has been lifted, but regardless, he keep on pushing forward to this agenda. So the more the time coming along, you can see more and more wickedness, man. And that's why we basically call awakening, Zine of the elect. You see me? Look like you have something over there.
It's a Psalm 64 and 1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. In my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
Right.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
From the secret counsel of the wicked. And when certain documentaries right now we used to have about 5-6 years ago, you understand, the documentaries them start to remove. Because the so-called white man realized that he's being exposed on a mass level. Understand? Even more mouth of fall upon him because most of the insiders them come out and I speak about his agenda. When plan to do with the military expansion, when plan to do with the chip. You see me, all of these things are come forth to the light. Me. You see, and the word are one of the main ingredients of revealing it. Me. You understand?
Yeah, because you start off with like the New World Order, then that get exposed and change it to Agenda 21 or Vision 2030, that get exposed, then starts the sustainable development, is that get exposed, now they must say, the new norm, coronavirus crisis, you know, and that they get exposed as well. So every single move in make you the light, the floodlight, them was really discussed at camp earlier, is the shine upon him. Yeah, so everything in do in plan get exposed. Right, because even Nick Rockefeller, Aaron Russo, come out, you know, on the interview with Alex Colombones, Alex Jones, you know, say them telling them end goal of the base to the chip, everybody. Right, everybody chip with the RFID chip, which is a mark of the beast. So any move you make, we know that this are the ultimate aim. So him come up with this crisis, that's what we call it pandemic, to get everything moving in motion for him end goal, which is the chip. He want chip everybody.
You understand? And the beauty about the truth is that it gives you a broad perspective on everything in so-called white man do. And you can see all of the links them connected one to the other. You understand? The chip, the CDB, what you call it, Central Bank Digital Currency, the blockchain, you see me? The
5G, smart Internet of Things.
Right? The pandemic. All of these things connected. The even Bill Gates coming about vaccination. That connected as well. You just have to add them to the pot, and all of them basically are formulate what? The New World Order where it trying to come up with.
Yeah, because let's say an article, I think Kazakh posted with Sagicor. I don't know, I think Kazakh posted it, maybe I posted it. Sagicor in Jamaica out here plan to do what them call a mobile bank. You know, and they plan to start up in I think Clarendon. And then what them say they want to reach out to people that is unbanked and underbanked. That have the people basically on a bank account access to bank. And what was one of our big news main Andrew Wellness main issue, you know, when him say he want to push out the stimulus package, that the people are underbanked and unbanked, meaning say you don't really have access to bank account. You know, so once that get pushed, everybody have a bank account, and then the other ideas come into play as well, because that's also one of the goals of Agenda 21. You know, with the UN goals, then you have everybody of identification, which identification will be universal and digital.
And I forgot you, basically when they talk about the bringing forth of the NIDS back to the court, one of the reasons is that then they have to put it aside because they realize that it impinges on the rights of the people. But they must say, oh, look here. If this,
rights.
Exactly. So they must say, look here. If this NIDS implementation outweighs the negative implications and basically provide a greater sense of benefit, then it can be considered a reasonable installation. You understand? So that you see them do, them say, alright then, look here, realize you have a lot of people that is untracked, that I want to word with them using the article. You have a lot of people that is untracked and basically going around in the loops of the system, circumventing the system with false identification and so forth. Understand? And that is basically causing a great impact on the economy and society as a whole. You see? So all of these things are come together to basically say, alright then, push the NIDS and then basically get it be accepted.
And the next thing where I see article Andrew will say, I bring a new payment system, and in the payment system, they say I bring forth a thing of formal economy. And when you look up a formal economy, it's an economy where everything you do, the government or the system is aware of everything. We buy and sell. So people who making money on the black market, not paying taxes and stuff like that, this system will cut out that. But just like I tie in everything and I connect everything, it's just the framework leading up to the microchip, which is the mark of the beast, where if you don't have a chip, you won't be able to buy and sell. So them just set the foundation, you know, and in the future, boom, a chip. You know, if you don't have one, you can't buy nor sell. And with that chip, this man will be like, you know, say he will be like God. He might know everything that take place.
Track and monitor everything. Let's finish this. Verse 2, he said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their horrors, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
Exactly. All of these executive orders, you realize, say, from we call it George W. Bush to Obama, you see me, even to Trump. You understand? The whole of them basically have put grains of executive orders basically accomplish them agenda, man. You see them set snares privily. All of these things are traps.
Right.
You understand? And as the elder Manatazak always has said, them always have installed these executive orders for holiday weekend or for big game days where nobody really take no notice or nobody left vote against it.
Circus and bread, while they're being entertained, distracted, some bigger things that take place on the scene, even no
Behind the
people behind the scenes, like a tower. No people in America most for the last from Wednesday, everybody, the counting are done, who win, but behind the scene are some bigger things these men are set in place, because 2021 you're going to really see the devil. And you're going to really understand that the white man is not for you. And the groundwork gets set now while you're entertained, while you're distracted, you know?
Exactly.
See,
See,
sorry, what?
you have people always that talk about Trump are racist, Trump are this, Trump. Look at what the policy Trump is implementing is. A lot of people are asking, what is wrong with Trump? You not talk good to the people, then. Talk good. What about the laws? What about the policy? What about the implementation and the moves, you know, man? Talk about that and see where it's going to impact you, man. You understand? Do those things. Talk about the military movement. You understand? Talk about the things we do over there in Russia, in China, or so forth, man. I see the implications of what it has cost for your people. See, the people have a low IQ, man. They're dumb, man. They don't see everything where the government that do. See, people believe that Trump is the government. No, Trump is not friggin' government, man. You see me? He's just a puppet. He's just one man. You see me? You have the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. You have the three branches of government. All of them work together as one.
Senate, plus the elites.
Exactly.
Them up top and
Yeah,
them
on the
agenda.
streets. You see, in terms of the start wear mask. And he said, I have people in high regards that basically are threatening him. And he might for maybe missing, and then he is saying catch coronavirus. It's not start wear mask. Don't be a puppet, yo.
Exactly.
Let's finish this. They said, they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Who shall see them? The elect of the Heavenly Father. I will see them. The floodlights, I will see them. See if I try to square around in the dark. See me, bro?
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Exactly. The scripture says how them search out iniquities. One way how them search out iniquities is this big data movement. You understand? Them collection of data on everybody and them linking of data and them linking to everybody. You understand? One of them great means of doing this is the social engineering method. You understand? Where they realize say how them can actually assess groups of people and see which different sets of people follow after this and follow after that, and then basically can switch the narrative and propose something to them. You understand? Basically, I engineer people mind to be on the left or be on the right, but at them I control the entire narrative. You understand? It's like a man comes to booms and say, yo, I have some food. Which one you want? You want bread or you want cheese? You see me? You in your mind and say, oh, bread and cheese. You see me? So more while these people don't realize say, yo, the bread and the cheese, they boy, you can put the bread and the cheese together. So their mind basically clouded by the left and the right, and them don't see outside of the box, and only see what is being presented to them. You understand?
Maybe you put chicken there too, but you
Exactly.
don't show it to them. And that's what you saw there right now. You know, basically going to close it down and narrow it down for everybody that's basically accept the ship.
Exactly.
You have a free side? Revelation 13. Yeah.
So back in Revelation 13, that was a nice segue. Back in Revelation 13, verse 8 again, it says, oh sorry, I don't get it.
Yeah. in that verse 10.
We'll 11 with it. Yes, sir. So it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exercised all the power of
Go on.
right? And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him.
Yeah, and they say speak as a dragon because from what I'm working I say, anytime I pull up like news articles, they literally tell you draconian laws. I remember when I used to bring out that now.
Yeah.
Right, the word dragon they go back to draconian. You know, and every mandatory mask wearing, social distancing. You know, I'm draconian now them there. You see me lockdown, curfew, come off by road after certain hours. You know, I get locked up, no more partying. Those are draconian measures being pushed through all the earth right now. As I say, speak as a dragon. You know, them law, them legislation are pushed for draconian measure. And then ultimately, as Joe Biden said, mark my words, you will rule on this before your 10 years is up. Implantable RFID chip will be made mandatory throughout all the earth. All roads lead to the RFID chip.
That's right.
That's why you say all I want to take place when I heard right now. Problem, reaction, solution.
Pressure from above, pressure from below.
And
All the way to chaos.
exactly, you can say, yo, we are the true prophets, beginning with the elders and apostles are great restored. Because remember before this this pandemic situation, you can remember clearly, the elder Pastor Tahar said there is going to be a big, basically a big movement or a big disorder. You see, in a society, there needs to be some form of event to kick and speed up our be used as a catalyst for the RFID shipment. Here it is. See me? From this pandemic thing come on the scene, yo, it's like say yo the chip plan gone in a 3rd or 5th gear, man. It's just a slap through the gear, them it's all a jump gear.
And just like you mentioned, Pastor, a while ago, so we, from the heart, we give double honors because we have the right pastors who have feed us with knowledge and understanding. And when we behave, act like the church of Berea and do our research and look into current activities and the scriptures, we see where everything going towards a microchip. Big Pharma and Microsoft merging, alliance to ID 2020, vaccine and microchip. Not vaccine and Christianity. Not vaccine and embargo. So you clearly see those that are pastors, them blind, dumb dogs, and them lead the people them straight to them death. Them not sounding the trumpet so the people can prepare and they say, yo, see that chip? That's the damn mark of the beast, beware of it. So we have to give double honors, because the pastors are lead us accurately,
Our pastors are lead us accurately. And it says, yes, speaks Manjala.
Yeah, man, come on.
Yeah, it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Yeah, that go back to the Roman Empire. That's how we do the revised Roman Empire. Right, look one on the building, them the construct, Roman numeral, everything basically.
Senate House.
Senate House, the whole currency. Because at one point the currency was gold, and then you start remove the gold. That's so back then, before 1971, the US dollar was backed by gold, and then you remove the gold from it, Now it's fiat currency, free floating.
Just as I said, it's beautiful because I see where Rome was going down, I see where the gold and the silver, the currency that they were using to paying the soldiers, it started lose value. Where it used to have like piece of copper or iron in the middle and them have a little strip of gold around it. So it start lose value. And the same pattern, these people now is no longer backed by gold. It's showing it. Them going down just the same.
You build for fear because they're trying to implement what the chip.
Right.
They build for fear so it can ultimately implement this device. That's why I need the chip. Everything the master, that's why you need the chip. Everything, all roads lead to the market.
Exactly. And there's further another point, it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. One of the power of the first beast before him is that every nation that was in agreement with him, he make a meeting, which means call it befriend. Understand? So all the nations were in league with him, basically befriend him, and anybody will go against him, basically go against him for conquer. You see me? That one of the powers of the beast. It basically shows say, yo, look here, if you know with me, you're going to basically get a nuke. You understand? Or I'm going to send troops on land or boots on ground or basically do some kind of propaganda warfare against you.
That's what we can call name like Gaddafi, Lebanon, Afghanistan, Iraq, right? The so-called white race, the least of them use America as a hammer earth pound of the nation. They want to go with them agenda upon Venezuela, and then now we have the UN now, we basically alright. So we have them play like the God role. All problem are going here, what going now. Is we have to come together and we have to come with a solution to fix our hunger. Famine are coming in, and that's the main thing what will drive people to take that chip.
That's right.
Famine. Right. You know, can no form of transaction because the currency failed. Place a bun down. In the form of transaction, you want to need to take this chip.
Right? See me? It says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, which is America right now. See me? And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Nukes, drop nuke on Japan, and they have the war. And they have the war. Remember which was somewhere in Europe near Russia. You have bombs you drop back then by I think NATO. I'm mistaken. Can't remember my name like this, so I'm Russian.
Soviet.
Yeah, within that time frame, but remember my name, right? I always mix up with Cyber, but it's not Cyber.
Alright. And deceived them which dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Yeah, so the image go back to the Roman Empire system. Basically new religion. Right, that's the image where basically set up a digital framework, the digital system, everything digital, everybody tracked and monitored. When Jamaica implement Jamaica High, right, 5G technology, sensors. From what them push the idea of criminals being caught by cameras. So yes, it's that good, push out more cameras. Right. So we'll see what way to lead to.
Exactly. See? And okay. And number 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Yes, so anybody want to go to the we as society want, then basically going to be terminated. Enemy of the state, be put to death. Right?
And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yes, and prepare the situation and create the situation for everybody need to take this device, clarify the chip, which is the mark of the beast.
And we can see how he prepare. We mentioned a lot of things about the preparation of how he's going to do this, man. You see me? Order of chaos. In order through chaos. You see me? He basically provide a means of disorder, and then when he's done, he will provide the order. You see me? He bring forth the chaos, and then he might say, oh, people, alright, relax. Here is the solution. You see me? It's as simple as this. All you need to do is just take this, and you'll be able to have access to food and all you will do. No?
Because look at it, ask yourself what could you do right now, or how would you survive without physical money? Just say when money going to collapse and you're going to need something else, which would be the chip.
Exactly. If you have the next thing again, you have people who are saying that they're going to dwell on farming. Why do you think the so-called white man attacked the farming sector? Right? He attack it because he realized this can be a means of sustainment for you people. So what he do is that when he attack that, he say, alright then, you don't have no means of sustainment for yourself, so you have to basically come to us for the resources to be able to grow your crops or so forth. And if you don't have those resources, you don't have the seeds, you don't have the fertilization, you don't have all of them things, you till the land and basically bring forth a proper yield of crop. You see me? You have to go back to him. You see, and if you can't go to the only way you can aim to go to him is through what? The RFID chip.
That's right.
And you have basically, nowadays as a farmer, they basically influence people to become registered. Understand? And that basically might soon be mandatory. You say, oh, you have to basically be registered in it because we need to be able to take stock of your produce and we need to be able to monitor this.
And before that, there's another thing we want to say, the formal economy. So everything have to be registered.
Tracked and traced.
Exactly. You know?
Well, if you track something and trace it, you ship it. Just like how this new package, you order one package from Amazon or so, then them tag it. You can pull up your phone and you fast. Which part is reach? Oh, okay. In transit.
Exactly. So every time you get scanned, you realize, oh, it passed through this port or passed through this processing or whatever. Understand? So it says, and cause it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. See it? Did you want to break that mark?
Yeah, mark like this, we have for each ship.
See? And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Yes, so no form of transaction can done without the mark of the beast which is implanted to the RFID chip, because it will basically what we're going to replace your ID, and you'll be expelling money, your currency. It will be the new currency, and the new, basically it's going to be a new passport. Slave pass, move around. Back then if they catch you without a slave pass, you get tortured. Maybe you get put to get executed. It will be the new passport.
And you can see that they basically sensitize the people to this agenda by basically having people wear masks within these major grocery stores. You understand? You can't go in a certain grocery store, number one, if you don't have a mask, and number two, if you don't get the temperature checked.
You see it, as soon as you go in, everybody says so. And then you spray you, because the chip going to be inserted in your hand or in your head.
Cool.
Now, anyway, you want to receive it.
And you notice that the two places for them target.
Yeah.
And then four are your hand, and stretch out your hand, and then test.
Right. They must sensitize you. All road lead to the chip.
People might think that it's far-fetched, but it's all about psychology. It's all about the means of psychologically manipulating the mind to be more and more accepted or comfortable with a particular thing. They couldn't just jump and say, alright, chip. You see me? They must basically sensitize, alright then, we need to do this in a gradual manner so that the people don't basically get too much of an uprising outside. So we have to say, alright, the pandemic is basically going to put the people in our means of scare. You see, because it's a scare tactic. So scare them to basically accept wearing a mask and basically getting the temperature checked. Once them accept that, that is beautiful. We can basically root out all of them against it or pressure them by using the one them way for it to basically them pin one against the other. You see me? Once them start to do that, them say, alright then, we have the majority on our side, we can basically move forward with the agenda of implementing the chip. You see, by basically coming with the NIDs or any form of digital identification and gradually transform into basically saying it's more beneficial to have it inside of you than to have it on a car.
Sure.
Yes.
Understand?
It's like a show frog in hot water. I try to jump out. If you put him in a cool water and constantly turn up the heat, you might stay until him roast.
Adjust.
That's these people, right? When you know them from like a couple of years ago, maybe 20, 30 years ago, they couldn't just chew in the chip. Them still get a we call now uprising, but it's now minimalized. Right? Less people are come up against it. As I stated earlier, you have people right now, you don't want to wear masks, you have people but wear masks making this worse. Because they already win over those people. So it's all deception, basically push people or lead people to accepting that device. It's a deception.
I always bring out this history of what happened in Prussia. They basically realized that this brother by the name of Forrest man realized that the educational system in Prussia, which is modern day Germany, you can look it up if basically confirm. They realized that the people in that time was basically for the country, it was for the state because of the educational system. So Horace Mann, which is considered one of the father of modern day education, brought it forward to the Western Hemisphere and said, look here, this form of education is the best form of education to get the people to be more inclined to operate with the state. Zine basically, as they would have said, to pledge allegiance to the state or to pledge allegiance to your country or to your body. Zine instead of to your own family or to your sector people. Zine, so when they realize that now, them start to basically get in the youth them from a tender age within the educational system. the more and more them start to basically mentally reform the minds of the people, of the youths then basically say, alright then, we can basically implement this means of allegiance to the land and to the government and to your own parents.
So they say that, they say national pride. And I pledge allegiance to this land. Remember the national, they used to make a stand up in a devotion a month time and sing the national anthem.
And sing national anthem.
So that's your breakdown right now.
Exactly, them do it in majority of the countries then. You see, in all of the national anthem, them have some form of semblance of giving allegiance to the land. That is a form of brainwashing or brain cobwebbing. You see, they basically put their brain in a trap to basically say, okay, I am for this particular country, I will die for my country, I love my country.
And as they say it again, the national anthem, if you observe it, they never say, Jamaica people we love, Jamaica land we love.
Exactly. Exactly. You see me? And then basically start to do this thing with the Olympics to pin countries against countries so that the people have a more sense of allegiance to their own country. You see me? So instead of people trusting their own family or saying, alright, my family needs this, me have basically secure my family at all costs. Fuck the land, my family is the main priority. They must say, yo, me have to secure the land at all costs. Me have to fight for America. Me have to fight for my country, for my this. See me? So them basically giving over to the state at an early age. So these things start from a long time, from in the primary school. See, in basic school, kindergarten.
You have something still? We have a quick one. Alright, so this is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Exactly, man. By peace shall destroy many. You see me? Through his policy, man cause craft to prosper in his hand. When you examine what happened to the Native American Indians, they basically reformed them. They basically took them out of their natural environment, out of their natural state of living and culture, and started to reform them, beat them, punish them if they spoke their original language, and force them to speak their own language, white man language, which was English. Understand? And that them do to a majority of people. When you colonize a nation, you have to basically break them out of their way of living and basically conform them to the colonizers' way of living.
And if you fast forward into today, the arm of the earth, which is America, every country where them conquer, where them do, them bring their way of life to them. Just like I said, the nations were mad, because, them drink off our wine and off our philosophies. And, democratic system, same kind of Senate House kind of division thing, the divide and conquer that are already. And her way of life, she just pass it on to them.
Exactly, just like this guy by the name of Saghur Zine, which I think him is one of them Indian men over there in India. Him say, yo, how does modern day men came to know of trimming their beards? Zine, it was because the British colonized India, and because the conquerors were beardless, they believed in shaving their beards. The ones that were conquered wanted to portray themselves as such, as the conquerors, because they were a symbol of power.
Right.
So instead of thinking about their own heritage and cultural pride, they transitioned into believing whatever the conqueror said. So likewise, up to today, the social reform of our people is going to basically lead them to believe more in the state and believe, say, oh, the state is for their benefit. So therefore, if the state is coming forward with vaccination or with new policies or with the RFID chip, it is for a greater purpose. So the so-called white man portray himself as the hero to benefit all mankind.
The savior.
The savior. You understand? That is what he's portraying himself as.
So that. Isn't it? You have some still?
No, let's finish. Let's finish it. Verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 square and 6.
You know, I'm gonna go Kai, Shai, Stigma. I remember mistaking the Kai go up to Christ, like him put himself as a savior. I remember this time when Stigma go up to him stamp. I remember stamp you with the new implant of our Friday chip. So in create a scenario, basically chip everybody.
Alright, so this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or that is worship, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is a God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that I might be revealed.
That he might reveal.
Salakia. I'm going to read it again. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of the iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And that's the proper space, right? We're exposing him.
Alright, so verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all this deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
Or deceivableness in them that perish, because I want to deceive people from the to accept the chip. Create a scenario, the people cry out for a solution, which solution will be the one that will be presented, which is the chip. Remember?
Because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth.
Yeah, because the truth is that the RFID chip is a mark of the beast, it must not accept it. But people reject the Most High and the word, so they want basically make them believe the lie, which is a deception. They basically accept the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, and that will basically be them way of survival. But the scripture says, he that seek to save his life shall lose it, and he that lose his life for Yahushua's sake shall basically find it. Can read verse 30.
Yeah, alright, so reading on it says, but at pleasure in unrighteousness, but we are bound to give thanks always to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai had from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth.
Yeah, so the elect now will basically be deceived. The scripture says, if it were possible, should be deceive the very elect, but it's not possible. Right, the elect, we have eyes. The scripture says, we know them like we'll be like them that see. We are the light of the earth. We have the light that shine. Upon all of the deception of Esau, every move he make, like out in Jamaica, every move Andrew make, Prime Minister, him and Tufton make, we can, chip, New World Order, alright, like the sustainable development plan, or flooding go on, we know the plan then. We have the manual, we have the scriptures, the script for the movie. Right. Every move we make with see them try to implement that right now.
We get the memorandum of understanding. The Lord saying that do not but to reveal it his secret unto his servant, his prophet. And the Lord said, watch and be sober. So we're sober and we're watching And we see in the move, just like how the Aka break it down, we see where all of these steps going, and it's going to the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. You want the Psalms? Alright, so this is Psalms chapter 10 and verse 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He do catch the poor when he drive him into his net.
Exactly, and the poor are one of the main praise for this lion, is the so-called one.
And who is the poor? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we are at the bottom of the food chain.
We are the ones more susceptible to any changes or implementation within the system. The other day when they order people for curfew, have a curfew at a particular time, or if you wear the mask, then go down into downtown and they realize that those rules weren't being adhered to. Understand? And what happened is that people them say we can't adhere to this because we in a sense of living from hand to mouth.
Yeah.
They make them say as many people can work from home as possible. I'm supposed to do that, but how much poor people can work from home? Understand? So this system never set up to benefit poor people. It's set up to kill them and put them in a state of being a prey.
Yes, it clearly shows you who the system are target. Even in America, remember when Corona just come out, it was a Chinese virus, right? And then it changed, it turned to what? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian virus. So them are the main cause, and them are the people more avid spreading it. That's the poor, and that's the so-called white man of the system, the Edomites, targeting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which is beautiful because it will lead to the time of Jacob trouble also. Because these things coming, and you people are going to catch some serious hell, and without, Isaiah 33 and verse 6, wisdom and knowledge, you're going to be like a headless chicken bouncing all over the place, such as I to the death, such as I for the sword, to the sword, such as I to the famine, These things are going to happen, leading all the way up to Revelation 3 and 10, the hour of temptation, when that same mark of the beast, which is the microchip, will be presented to the entire world. Right? Alright, so
Revelation 3.
I'm reading on back in Psalms 10 and verse 10. He croucheth, he humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He had said in his heart, Yahweh had forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it.
Say everything, you get food.
And the thing is that a lion, basically in his domain, what he uses is the elements to disguise him. See me? So when you relate that to the so-called white man using policies and using certain agenda and we call it philanthropist movements to hide this true agenda. You see me? Because when you see the so-called white man give out certain things for free, it's not free. It's basically catching in a trick bag. And then he basically, doing more for it.
Like stimulus package and free vaccine.
Exactly.
You're not free of it, it's a catch. Right? Make everybody lose their job. Anyway, on those stimulus package, they chip everybody, and everybody lose their job. Now, you have to get more money or get food, you have to come to you, man. Oh, you don't have to get food, now you have to let you.
Look on what happened with the giving out that stimulus package earlier. Them say some people give out directly to their bank account. But some people never have no bank account at all or no means of basically getting the stimulus package. So they have to wait to go to Western Union or MoneyGram to collect the package. Now, the lines that cause, they think they never perceive so this never happen. If they know so they can't send the money directly to majority of the individuals through them bank account, what the hell them about do? They found up in a line.
Just like when you earn.
Exactly, them basically out there drop down one by one, people out there for much in hours, 8 hours, them are dead in a hot sun. So when people are go through that state, where you think them are?
Go get a bank account.
You don't forget a bank account. Put up with this, Everybody have to start running for go to the system.
And that beautifully mentioned the stimulus package, because who a go for a stimulus package? The poor. Who a give out the stimulus package? The rich. Where is the middle class? Gone. Revelation 13 and 16 on down, where it mentioned rich and poor to receive a mark. So the middle class have go. And everything, that's what Aka mentioned, everything tie in. Every step where this devil make, it does at the prophecy, the precepts them in the Bible just a roll off. And them just a come to life. Just a come to life.
Gone.
And the scripture said the edict shall speak on that line.
How happy you have that precept if we go back. Yes, you didn't really have
You
the...
cannot read about book and close the revelation.
Hey, you have some people in our upper society they make a nice lump sum of money. As they may believe in, say them safe, but they don't understand, say look here. What affects the economy affects everybody in a whole. Understand? And economy going cashless is in are going to end up affect them in turn. Understand? So you have the economy move from a state of physical cash and transaction to a cashless society. It will end up affect a lot of people in our society. We have them looking nice money and lay up because they have to do things. Forget that money. Them have to think, why you think say it's illegal to save over $1 million in your house? So that they can go to the frigging bank and lodge it with them. You see me? And when you lodge it with them now and them have your money in the bank and them implement these things, these cashless means of transaction, how we expect to get your money? You have to take what them and give. You see? So the rich are some of the ones that will get caught up in it as well, man. You see me? I think they probably get caught up in it faster than the poor because they have more to lose. Understand?
Alright, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Revelation 3 and 10. Say, Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. You see, in the word patience there, basically go back to being endured, and the word of enduring our suffering. Understand? And we are the ones who have endured all of these things because Scripture tells us, with much knowledge comes with sorrow. And we see what go on and we give up a lot of things in this life for the truth's sake. Understand? So read it again. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See? Can I speak on it? I'm saying you can speak on it.
That's clear. Yes, over temptation when you get push mandatory, the most they are believe what I like, then have to take it and reject, take it and then well see the situation going.
So this is Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is...
Enough rich people are get chopped up in because a poor man might say, what? Now the money in the bank, forget about bank account or whatever. Move on till the side and go live up in the hills or whatever. But the rich man, he must take feed money, you know.
Yeah, that's why Scripture say the rich man is not if you're a rich man into the kingdom.
Exactly.
You know? And lay your treasures in heaven. And that basically in earth, because where your treasure is there you will be also. You know, it will go hard if your man give up millions of dollars and billions of dollars versus a man who really have shit.
Exactly.
What me going to lose 10 grand going with it?
I think you have a scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes that say, sleep of a laboring man is sweet, but the rich lose it sleep for cares of his riches. Something.
Yeah, you're right.
You see me? So the rich are going to lose sleep for cares for riches because guess what? In money are going to be under attack.
They work when you do. You know what I said, like I said, they're more easier for him to go accept the chip. Whereas a poor man, you know, used to struggle and I no benefit off on either way.
Exactly.
No, but that only feel like still because all the poor man want to take the chip.
That's right.
Exactly.
As in can't leg off for the crumbs.
Mm-hmm.
The little crumbs them again, him still want it.
Plus the benefits
Yes.
for receiving the chip.
Yes.
Stimulus
Yeah.
package.
And also the miracles them where you know, Elon Musk, I push a show you say, yo, but you know, the hand they were there, you know. You can't make it just receive the market, a chip in and you forward and the move again. Enough man, I go run down that.
Resource site, you know,
Yes,
with elements. Because
yes.
you know what basically with the God, you know, the Mosa is the one will heal people,
Right.
but with the chip there, that's one of the solution as well. You know, for a lot of sickness, you want to cure the disease, you want to cure you want to restore sight, you want to restore hearing, take the chip. Now it will be basically with the hands off for a lot of issues.
Yes.
Right, when he's off link on the earth.
And it's a big thing we're going to use to deceive people. Right, so back in Revelation 14 and 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, meaning righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is our Lord and our Savior Yahweh Shai.
So we receive that mark of the beast, which is in front of our Friday chip, judgment straight is death. And there's no so-called repenting. For now, to go the chip on your share. You're going to get put to
It's
death.
any man.
Any man. And I go back and I go for woman and picnic. So receive that death.
Exactly. At the end is up.
You have anything else?
Awesome.
Alright, so with that, you know what this is, so the final team that go there, giving our praises to our Paul.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshai Bashem Kafadash.
The wonders and to elders and apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to the full.
Shalom.